What do we do to ensure Nigerians have uninterrupted power supply? Is that too much to even ask? Because when we say something, it sounds strange.
That's our right. We should have power. We don't deserve to be in darkness. No, there are areas in Nigeria they've never witnessed power. They've never seen light in the real sense of it in their life.
But I think from our analysis before we went to the newsroom, I just realized that the coming administration has no excuse, because it would seem as if the president, Goodluck Jonathan, has put in a better framework that can have a seamless structure put in place to the extent that most Nigerians will have electricity in their homes. Because going by your analysis, looking at the distribution companies, the transmission companies, and of course what has been put in place, looking at the laws, and if the states would really explore what they never understood in the laws, then I think electricity, as you rightly said by answering Chamberlain, in about 4 or 5 years from now, we should be able to hit about 40,000 megawatts.
Sure, but these people should take their state government, they should hold their state government responsible. They should definitely hold the state government responsible. As a country, we can't now be talking of national grid structure. We should have state grid structure. Lagos state government is big enough. A state that wants to industrialize, a state that is going mega, should have its own grid structure. At best, a concession grid arrangement with the federal government. This local government cannot fit into the state grid. The state like Manitoba, Ontario, they have their own grid, those are smaller than Lagos. Smaller entities. Lagos should have its own grid. Ogun may have its own grid. We could even have a regional grid structure.
Do you see a situation where we will have redundant infrastructure?
That shouldn't be infrastructure, electricity infrastructure, or that shouldn't be, because once it's properly conceived, and if the intention is to back up the national grid, and you have electricity infrastructure at the level of the state for the purpose of distribution, then they're going to key in. The industry are going to come naturally. But in a situation in which, of course, like the Aaron thing that wasn't properly conceived, that led to somehow abandoned project, like a lot of gas pipelines that were not properly structured for the purpose of feeding the power sector. A whole lot of the starting points must be right. It must be well thought out, carefully thought out, well structured, and well executed.
Well, the regional issue you talked about, let's look at the geopolitical zones and see how we can make use of that. When you say regional, we can also have regional power industries or companies. What were you thinking of?
I was looking at, of course, now we have 6 geopolitical zones. Assuming, though not considering that we can have state transmission infrastructure, which we should have, particularly in areas like Lagos, Rivers, Ogun, that is fast growing, and others, which is doable. Then we could go regional. We can't put everything at the doorstep of the president. There are areas that are far from the grid. You see, for disaggregated population, you need disaggregated power consumption arrangement. You're not going to set power lines from here to rural areas. That doesn't make sense, because you're going to have void in between. What we are saying is, for this centralized population like Lagos, we need to have their own. For rural areas, we may be thinking of perhaps solar for them, because those are not things that need to go on the national grid. But for the regions, we need to start developing, we need to cap off this national grid. It doesn't make sense in this century to have a centralized grid. You can have a regional grid, like south-south, southwest, northeast, northwest, north central, and so on and so forth. That will be permissible.
Don't we have something close to that with the privatization that has happened? Now, many say that, look, what we have are regional monopolies.
Those are not, because the transmission is still centralized. Transmission is still centralized.
Or you want a whole...
They generate from the dams, from the GENCOs, generation companies. They now upload to the national grid. That's what I'm saying. Once it's uploaded at the national grid, the technical services provider or the grid operator, which is the transmission company of Nigeria, will decide, okay, Lagos, I give you 10 megawatts. Okay, Bayelsa, you get 2. Kaduna, I give you 30. And the politics is still there because it's what they give to you ultimately that you distribute to your people. And they want to concentrate in areas where the money will come. It makes sense to distribute in Lagos than somewhere in, for instance, Ondo State or, sorry, even Osun State, because distribution to homes is not as attractive as distribution of power to commercial.
Let me get across